everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. This is season 4, episode 2, and it was titled, episode 3, and it was titled Word on the Streets. Alright, so before we jump into this video, if you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. And if you end up liking this review recap, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. Alright, y'all, so this episode really wasn't too much of nothing. It kind of picked back up where it left off at, where Deb is kind of talking about the orange man and how she wants to vote for him and do all that other good stuff. I'm not going to get all into it. You know, everybody was kind of with their whole thing, like, why is she doing this? What's wrong with her? Is she okay? Type thing. Deb says, like, why should I have to be pro for my community when my community hasn't been pro for me? They've turned their backs on me and stuff. She's sticking to her guns. Ain't no changing what Deb thinking. She gonna think this regardless of what anybody at the table think. Diamond pretty much want to move on. She like, look, I'm not voting for the man, and I'm not wearing no red shirt and all that other stuff. So like, whatever. Drea, she want to do a mental check on her. She want her to go. She want her to get her mind checked out. She want a CT scan or something, child. And Lily, she's scared. She like, something just ain't right. What's going on with her already? Because then, like, Deb was all like, well, she just got, like, so aggressive about it. I'm like, girl, calm down, because this man ain't fighting hard for you like that. He don't even know your name. Like, simmer down. It's okay. You can have your views and stuff like that, but you getting all aggressive with it. I'm like, ugh. But, she like, you don't gotta accept it, but you will respect it. And so I'm like, ooh, Deb, calm down. In the studio, child, we see Pimpin' and Bow Wow, and he talking about Pimpin' showing Bow how Angela done got some new boo or something. They posted up on IG or whatever, and Bow, he like, I'm happy for her. I'm glad she, you know, got with somebody, and that everybody can stop saying that we meant to be with each other, and she can move on happy with her life and stuff like that, and it's all good. I'm not the person that needs to be settled down, or I'm not I'm not relationship type material. So he like, what she want, I don't want, and that's fine. So like, we don't need to be in a relationship. Like, who knows? Maybe sometime down the line, 20 years from now, when he, however old he is, 50, 60 years old, and he ready to be like, you know what? I'm ready to settle down and stuff like that. I'm tired of freaking all the hoes and stuff. So, you know what? Let me call Angela up, see if she's single. And if she's single and she's still with him, like, boom, bada bing. But maybe not. But anyway, they go on to talk about how Diamond and Pimpin' are not together anymore. And Pimpin' was telling us how him and Diamond have known each other for about 18 years, and they've been on and off. It's kind of toxic, and some insecurities were there. No more trust. She basically doesn't trust him. Here go Bow. Well, you know, toxic relationships, they make the sex better, but you know, it's dangerous and stuff. Whatever. And then BT, he come in there and he basically ragging on Bow, talking about something. I saw you was getting cheated on or whatever, talking about Angela with the dude and whatnot. And then Bow was saying, like, you know, the pandemic hit, he had a lot of time on his hands, so he basically sat down and wrote a song about all the girls and everything, and that's his album. So he's telling us about his album and stuff. And so BT tells us, like, you know, the album is fire or the song is good and stuff like that, but I feel like Bow should just keep it private on the low or whatever. And I'm like, maybe not. I don't know. Who, at this point, who really cares to Snickers bars about Bow and his, like, who cares? I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't care. But apparently this album, he'd been working on his album for like a long time. Like, maybe that's why he not dropping it, because he don't want to put his stuff out there, because he don't want the backlash. But then again, like, if you putting it out there on TV that it's about these women, and they gonna still talk or what, I don't know. Like, just, if you want to put it out. Like, at this point, who cares? Do y'all? I mean, I like Bao. He cute or whatever. But no, like no one cares anymore. What was next, child? I said Oyster Bar. Waka and Tammy, they had an oyster bar. Oyster bar. They had an oyster bar, and oysters are so I cannot with oysters. Gross and then slurp. I cannot. Anyway, they talking about how freak nasty they be getting. She be cuffing his balls, and he was slapping on a big ass and all that other shit. And she says like, I forgot what I think she was talking about the quarantine, and she was saying like the quarantine basically showed her that her husband a nympho, and he won all the time, and she just need a break. But I think you knew that before that, but whatever, girl. She says she on a diet and her waist is getting snatched or whatever, and then she asked, how his mama doing. So he like, look, I'm scared, I'm nervous and stuff like that. I don't want to tell her, but I'm gonna have to tell her. But I know she gonna freak the hell out. So she do. She like, cause he like, she a Cheeto supporter. And she was like, you lying. I know you lying. What? Something wrong with her. She okay? Cause something is wrong with her mental capacity. You sure she ain't got something going on with her? Have you taken to a doctor? Like she alright or whatever? He was like, she was like, I'm gonna go over there and do a mental check because something ain't right with her. Something is obviously going on with her or whatever. And she was like, I would just hate to disown my mother-in-law or whatever. So, because she thinks she having a mental breakdown. I mean, pretty much that's the census all around that she having a mental breakdown or whatever. We see Diamond, she in a car share or whatever, taking her to her venue where she's going to have her album release party in a couple days. And she's on the FaceTime with the Brat. Apparently, her and the Brat are real close. She wrote the Brat when the Brat was in prison. And since then, the Brat has been like a mentor to her. She said she always looked up to the Brat and, listened to her music and stuff like that. And so she reached out to her when she was in prison. And they have like this big sister, little sister relationship, which is cool. I think that's dope. So she's telling the Brat about her album release party and stuff, and the Brat like, I don't do COVID and stuff, girl. But she was like, well, I'm checking temperatures at the door. I got the hand sanitizer. We got masks. It's going to be protected. She was like, all right, I think about it, I guess. So the Brat tells her she going to go, and then she going to take Jessica on a night on the town and stuff like that. What else? Then Diamond starts telling her how pimping is basically saying like he don't want to give her split sheet. So the split sheets show who wrote what, who produced what, and when you go download the music, you put that in there so you can get your royalties or your money or whatever. So Pimpin', since they broke up, he trying to be petty boots and don't want to sign her split sheet paperwork or whatever. So the Brat like, what? And Diamond like, look, he playing with the wrong one. I told him I'm an OG in the game, and what he not fitting to do is hold my music or whatever. He threatening to take my songs and stuff, and what we not fitting to do is that, okay? So the Brat like, look, just play it cool, just go in there. Think about your split sheets. Don't be all rah about it and stuff like that. Go in there, just have him sign the paperwork and dip on out or whatever. She was like, all right. So she was saying like how it's been hard for her and stuff, and she starts to cry, child. Her and the Brat get off the phone. Why she put the dang on her eyes up to the damn vents to dry her tears? I said they ain't had no tissues in the car. Like, what kind of Uber? Anyway, we see Johnny Blaze. She in the studio or whatever, and she is talented. I used to follow her on Instagram. But I don't know if I still follow her or not. I don't know, because I'm not on Instagram anymore. But she is talented. She can sing and stuff, but her attitude and stuff got her, blackballed a lot or whatever. So she's in the studio. She listens to some of her songs back or whatever. And then Deb comes in. Deb's like, can I just have a moment with her or whatever? So like the producer and some other guy, he leave out and whatnot. So then Deb tells her how she missed the luncheon. And she was like, what happened? What was going on with you or whatever? And so then Johnny tells us how she has anxiety and how she has depression. And she already shared her story with us before, how she was basically molested, sex trafficked, rape, like all this stuff, abused, and she went through a whole lot, as a younger child and a young adult or whatever. And so she was saying how she was thinking about all of that again, and it came back to her, and it just put her in that mind frame like she don't want to be here. She just can't handle it right now. She just can't handle it anymore or whatever. So then Deb starts to tell her how that hurt her, how it scared her, how it did her, and her. And I'm like, Deb, this ain't about you. This about this girl who going through this. Like, give her some uplifting things. Tell her that she wanted, she needed and stuff, and not how much is affecting you. I mean, yeah, if somebody commits suicide, it don't affect the it does affect the person because the person is no longer alive or whatever, but it also affects the family that they left behind. Yeah, so you can tell her that, but don't be going in on this girl about her issue. Like, she is living with this every day. Like, she is dealing with this every day. What you need to be trying to get her is some psychiatry, some psychiatric help, and some therapy to help her process and work through her feelings, not coming at her. I just don't know. I just don't like the way Deb was coming at her. And that could just be me or whatever, but I just didn't like the way she was coming at her. And I understand it probably was coming from a place of concern and love and stuff, because she lost her son due to suicide and stuff like that, and she don't want to see the same for Johnny because she treats Johnny like her daughter and whatever. But I don't know, I just didn't like her delivery. And so what else happened? So Johnny was telling her like she feel like she cursed. She feel like she just does good, she puts out all this good, and all she gets back is negative. She gets back evil, and she's putting it on her that it is from her past when she was doing, bad things or whatever. So she's holding that she's making it like she can't receive good because of what she did in her past. And I'm like, girl, God forgives all sins. Give that up to God. He is forgiving you. You need to forgive yourself. That's why I really wholeheartedly believe that she needs to be in therapy, and that she needs to be getting some psychiatric care as far as like medication or something like that, because she deserves, like she said, she feels like she deserves love, and she's not receiving that. She's just receiving bad. And Dad was like, because you're not looking for it in the right places or whatever. But she has to purge all that. She basically has to forgive herself before she can move forward in her life and stuff. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be a long journey. But if she gets the right help, I believe she'll be okay. What else, y'all? And then Dad did tell her, like, you came a long way and you need to focus on what you have achieved, because before you was living you going sofa to sofa to sofa. Now you got your own place. Now you doing this. And she was like, but nobody see that. She was like, but do you see that? That's all that matters. So I like that part. But it was some other stuff I ain't really like. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all felt about that. Then we see Diamond. She meeting with her project manager at the venue and stuff. And then Remarkable shows up, and they're just talking about Remarkable talking about her boyfriend, how she want to get him into the studio with Pimpin', and then Diamond was telling Remarkable about what Pimpin' was doing and how he was acting and stuff like that. And what's her name? Remarkable was telling us how her and her boyfriend bonded more during the quarantine. And then Diamond was saying like she good on a relationship because it wasn't like where she at right now. She focused on her music and stuff, and she want to get her music and her career going and stuff like that. And Pimpin' is so controlling and real selfish in a relationship, and she not about that life right now. What else? So then we saw Bow Wow's mama. She meeting with Andrea, and Andrea just basically told Bow Wow mama that Deb is a Cheeto supporter and how they needed to give her intervention. And then we saw how Bow Wow and his mama was talking real quick, and he was just like, I don't care about Deb being a Cheeto supporter. That's her business. So that was all we saw about that. Then we saw Diamond. So she's talking to Pimpin'. Or she come down to the studio, he in the studio or whatever, and she talking to Pimpin', and she pulled the split sheets out her bra or whatever, and she was looking cute or whatever, because he was like, oh, well, okay. He wanted a little something. And she was like, no, you need to focus on these split sheets. I need you to sign right here, okay? And he like, well, do you miss me? She was like, yeah, I miss you or whatever. He was like, no, but do you miss me? Do you miss? Oh, all of this. And she like, look, I miss our friendship and stuff, but in a relationship, you too much. Like, you do too much. You be too controlling. You be too this. You be too that. She was saying, like, outside the relationship, he's a dope dude. He's a dope everything. But as soon as he get in a relationship, it kind of, he changed or whatever. So I'm like, girl. What else? Yeah, she was saying, like, she remembers that when she think about the relationship, she remembers the headache or whatever. But she likes him as a friend and stuff like that. And so he was like, she was like, look, I need you to sign right here. So he ended up signing it and stuff like that. And she was like, all right, so that now that that's signed, you had sex with somebody, because I saw you with some bitch in some condo, and I want to know, did you and Bow had a threesome? He was like, a threesome? What? She was like, did y'all have sex? Did you have sex with somebody? He like, what? Sex? Who had sex? Did you have sex? She was like, look, we're not together. So did you have sex with somebody? He beating around the bush, and then he finally said he got his knob slobbed on. And she like, oh, well, in that case, you might as well just went ahead and screwed the hoe. And so he like, what? So, you know, you miss me, we gonna get back together or whatever. And she was just like, I don't know. I think they gonna get back together. She just needs some time alone from him and stuff. Because they've been together back and forth for 18 years. They gonna get back together, child. Ain't nobody worried about them too. Then we see Deb. So Tammy coming to visit Deb, basically to give her intervention, and she like, word on the street is you going to Cheeto Riley's, you wearing the red cap, you doing all this stuff. And she was like, ain't nobody doing all that. He a businessman. You know how Deb is. And then Tammy like, no, he a bigot. He this, he that. And then Deb like, well, y'all want to talk about Black Lives Matter, but what about this black on black crime? And I'm like, what, girl? And so Tammy like, look, black people kill black people, white people kill white people, Latinos kill Latinos. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. And then so she laying down facts and all that other good stuff. And Deb, like, I understand all that, and I'm not saying that Black lives don't matter, because I lost 2 sons and stuff, and I'm worried as well. But she said some other stuff, child. Basically, Deb's opinion is not going to change. So I hope they not going to keep talking about this in every goddamn episode, because at this point, it's getting dry. He ain't win the election, so I don't care. I don't care about this Cheeto man. And like her opinion is not going to change. So I don't know how many episodes this show usually is, but I just pray to God that they do not be talking about this in every freaking episode, because at this point, I really am over it at this point. Like, she supports who she support. Who cares? Tammy basically just worried that she'll get backlash and people won't like her and she'll lose business or whatever. But at this rate, Deb, if she ain't lose nobody yet by her being the way she is, period, her personality and all that other stuff, then ain't nobody finna leave her based off of this. Because, girl, bye. Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. What we gonna put down there in the, do they even got a Cheeto emoji? Put a food emoji, any kind of food, whatever, child. Snack, something down there in there. And that'll be to help you get entered into the giveaway once I reach 1,000 subscribers. If you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell, and go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if you like this, and hit the share button as well. All right, y'all. Until next time, peace.